Daydreamers! Welcome to Empire Total War with Bethencourt's 1800 mod. This is Dario, hello hello, and welcome to a new campaign that I'm starting right now, playing, as you can guess, as the French. Because the first time that we play with this mod, it had to be with the French, right? 1800, that does it all, says it all, is Napoleon, Napoleonic Wars. And people will ask, why the heck, Dario, are you playing, or you want to play Napoleonic Wars in Empire when you have Napoleon Total War? And the answer is, I'm going to answer you with another question. Why not? Why the heck not, right? I like Empire a lot with all the flaws that it has, because you can play in 3 theaters that Napoleon Total War does not. You only have Europe to play in there, and in this time, even though most of the Napoleonic Wars, well, yeah, all of it was in Europe, like France, the British, etc., they had a lot of interest in America and in India, and this is a good way to check it out. This is one thing that Napoleon Total War, I think they failed. They had they have the map for for Italian campaign. They have the map of Egypt. They should have done a map for America, and because there were still a lot of stuff. Can you imagine if they had added a map for America? All the mods, like the American Civil War and all that they have in Napoleon as well, they could have taken advantage of that. It would be so awesome, the mods in there. But anyway, coming back to our main campaign here. So I want to show you what this mod has and what it doesn't. This mod was is a beta, and it was never finished, and it will never be finished. This beta was published, I think, it was 2015, at the end of 2015, and there was some update going on in 2016 and all that, and then suddenly it just stopped. It's a pity. I've been looking on YouTube to see if there was any campaigns. I haven't found any campaign done. There are some loose videos on it. You have seen in the intro how beautiful the units look. That intro that I'm showing you is a battle that I did in Liguria, in Genoa, where we attack. This for me was a test to see if the campaign, the battles were running good without crashes, etc. Because I have a ton of crashes to set this up. I will talk about that later. But it went without any problems. I had a naval battle as well, that you will be able to see in a separate video. A naval battle, the French channel, and it also worked pretty well. No crashes at all. So I decided to go ahead and start this campaign. Now, because I haven't seen any on YouTube, I don't know if we will actually be able to finish it, and if but for what I've seen and for what I've read, I went through the whole log of comments, etc., in Total War Center, where the mod is published. You won't find this on ModDB, etc. If you want to download it, check the video description. There's a link and to the Total War Center page, and from there you will find the link to download the files directly. The units are beautiful, you can see in the campaign and all that. So what this mod has and what it doesn't, I'm going to try to explain now. With the mod we have 12 turns per year system. So I've seen in comments, in the threads and all that, why it takes so long to recruit armies and all that. Well, you have to think that 1 turn is 1 month. Right? We only have 15 years, so our victory conditions, playing as the French, we need to capture East Prussia, in there, Muscovy, Austria, England. That's something that Napoleon never did. And then we have Cherokee territory in America, New France, that the British are taking control of New France, Leeward Islands, and Michigan territory from the Iroquois. So you can see we have some victory conditions we have to play in America, which I think is very cool, very unique, different to any Napoleon Total War vanilla or mods that we play. So that's something special to look for it. Now, what we have with this mod, we have
Monsieur, vos ordres?
a custom roster for, you can see the icons here, that pretty neat. However, this is not available. The cards and descriptions were not made, were not finished, and it will never be finished. Only have the names, Fusiliers 1800, so to know about that, but the cards were not made. We have the icons though, made especially for the mod. So we have a custom roster for France, for Spain, and playable factions as well. So we have France, Spain, Great Britain, Austria, Prussia, Russia, and the United States, which actually brings a somewhat different campaign to play as the United States, because it's not this star position in 1800. You won't find it in any other mod. You have you can play as the 13 colonies. You can play the rebellion, right, in 1775, and then you can go to after that, like 1821, I think, or something like that. But I don't believe there's any other mod that gives you the chance to play as United States starting in 1800. So it was something that we can have a look later on, if we can see that the playthrough, actually the campaigns are playable. It seems that the balance was made. That's why the mod was launched. So we should have a good campaign going on. I'm playing on very hard, so I don't know how that is going to affect towards the diplomatic relations and all that. And I'm hoping that the countries, the factions that are in the coalition, they don't start fighting between them, because otherwise that would ruin the experience. But let's see how that goes. Now, the other factions that I didn't mention, so in Europe, for example, let's say the Netherlands, or let's say Switzerland, Switzerland, there's no Switzerland here, Denmark, Sweden, etc. They do have a custom-made roster. However, they share it. So the French have their own, and they will have units that are unique to them. The British will have some units that are unique to them as well, and their looks, etc. All these other European factions will share a common roster that what they will change, I guess we have to see. I haven't played that much ahead. The color factions will be different. So the Netherlands, you see, they have the blue. Pardon me. They have the blue color in here. I'm not sure. See if we can we see any other roster in here. So I believe they will have their own colors, but they will share the units in the roster. Now, the Middle East, the Indian, and the Native American factions, they haven't been touched. So they will be vanilla, I believe. We'll have to see into that. So another characteristic of this mod comes from the technologies that unlock a second tier of units, you could say. So the way that Bethencourt got into this, I think is very cool, and I'm looking forward for this, is that there's two eras, like the early Napoleonic era and the late Napoleonic era. So when you update you have to use the mod manager to launch the mod. Is preferably, you can use just typing on the user script, but it's recommended to use the mod manager. You have a number of files, and actually you cannot load all the factions that I just mentioned, that they have the unique campaigns, right? So Spain, France, Great Britain, Prussia, Russia, Austria, and the United States. You can only launch one at a time. So for France that I'm playing right now, there's a file called France or French, I don't know, I don't remember. France launcher. You have to tick that one, and when you launch Empire, you go to the Grand Campaign and you have to select France. If you select another faction, it's probably gonna crash. Then if you want to see Great Britain, you will have to close the game, go to the mod manager and tick the French launcher, go to the Great Britain launcher, tick that one, launch Empire again, Grand Campaign, and select Great Britain, and so on with all the factions. So you can't just go to the main menu and change from one faction to another, which is a little inconvenient. However, you are gonna be playing one campaign, right, at a time, most probably. So one thing that is a characteristic of this mod is in the technologies. You can see here I'm studying the Empire, right? So if I go here, you research Empire, it takes 20 turns, but remember that one turn is 1 month, so it's not even 2 years. This will unlock the Emperor, so this would be Napoleon, right? The Emperor and some guard units. But besides that, and you can see here, the new regime, the Empire, and its glory make lower and upper classes to feel even happier. In the military, the genius mind of the Emperor makes our armies go further. So it gives you plus 20 in land movement in campaign, which is huge. But what that technology does is unlock the Imperial Army, which would be another 20 tons. And this unlocks the top tier buildings. So if you see in France, we cannot build the Imperial Palace or the Imperial Staff College. The Admiralty, I think it doesn't have anything to do with that. And the Engineer School, the Imperial Engineer School. So once you unlock this, 21 tons. Yeah, they are all 21 tons in here. I don't know if we will be able to lower this. Now, if we think in time-wise, so this is 20 tons. This is gonna be 20. That's 40, and then you have it's gonna be 61 tons, which that would be. Let me calculate that very quickly. 61, 5 years. More or less. So by 1805 we should get the this finished. Now you have to think, yeah, that the late is around between 1805 1807. It would be 1807 actually, but if you can do it earlier, well, it would be earlier. So by the time you get this researched and you build the final buildings, those new army units would be available. You can see all these. I don't know which ones are unlocked exactly, but you have some new units and there are some new uniforms. So there's a file in the mod actually, in the mod manager. Then you can choose it from. I mean, this is up to you as a player. If you want to do it right now at the beginning, you can select that file and unlock it right now. But it's gonna be a little bit of a mess because it's gonna be unlocking units that you cannot recruit right now, and the uniforms are gonna look pretty weird for the time, I mean. So right now, the units that we have, if you have seen the intro, you have noticed the Carabiniers, etc., the Grenadiers. Now, once we reach that point, finishing the technologies, and if we go and tick so what you would do in game, you make a save and exit, go to the mod manager, select the late campaign uniforms for the French. There's one file for the French and another file for all the other and the United States. And then go back to your game, launch it, and then you can start recruiting the units with the new uniform. Unique, I think, is very cool that way. I'm gonna try to follow like that. So I'm already researching, and I'm not gonna unlock the late campaign uniforms until I researched all the technologies. So, given said that, I already have Napoleon though, because I named a general. I had a general here without a name, and I just put Napoleon Bonaparte. So we have him in the name, in the game. Sorry. And another peculiar thing about this mod is that 1800 is giving us Egypt as under the French controlled territories, and also Malta. That you won't find this in any other mod that I believe. Now the only thing is that with this we have to think what are we gonna do with that right now, because I don't think it was decided by the time the beta was published. I think Bethencourt didn't have decided the two things. One, Egypt, and another thing is the government. So if you can see here, we are actually an absolute monarchy. Yeah, we have an absolute monarchy. And there's a mod that actually gives you, because this with the latest updates it was taken out, and there's a little mod, I forgot to install it, so we can see this text actually in here. Anyway, I will look into that later. So we have Louis XIV as a king and the cabinet, and I believe that it must have been that it wasn't decided what government was gonna be had for France. I mean, this is not this is the Republic flag, not the monarchy would be the fleur de lis, right? The lis flower. There's the Bourbon, you could say the Bourbon flag, and we don't have that. So we have to decide what to do with that and what to do with Egypt. Now, the context historically is that, you know, in 1797 or 98, I don't remember exactly, Napoleon left, and it was his fleet actually was in pursuit. It was being pursued by Horatio Nelson and the British. They couldn't get to them because they didn't have, the British didn't have enough small ships to tag along and see what to scout, right, and see what they were doing. They didn't know where the heck they were going. So Napoleon came to Malta, and he took advantage of an oath that the Knights of St. John had signed to the Pope back in the day. They made an oath promising that they wouldn't raise arms against any other Christian army or Christian faction, you could say, right? So when Napoleon arrived to Malta, he came and said, well, hello, here we are, just get out of here. And the Knights of St. John surrendered without firing a shot. You know, because they had promised they wouldn't attack any other Christian factions. So from here, Napoleon went forward, and they landed in Alexandria, and the Egyptian campaign started, you could say, right? Now the thing is that we are in 1800 right now. But this time, I think Napoleon would be with his army fighting the Ottomans around here. There was a battle in Acre, and I don't think they got to Jerusalem. I'm not very up to date with the history in there. But the thing is that in 1800 Napoleon would be around here, and we have, as you can see in this mod, we don't have an army or anything. So as a player, we need to decide what we're gonna do here. If we wanna recruit units, it's gonna take quite a few turns. Like, I don't have money now because I already spent it all. But 4 turns I think is the least. We have an army here in France that at first I was thinking, well, I'm gonna embark them on a ship and just send them to Malta, do the same thing, right? And from Malta land. We don't even have a port in Alexandria. It's gonna take how long? Well, 7 turns. Yeah, 7 turns to pop up. And we could send an army here, start recruiting, see if we can hold this. I don't know if the Ottomans have anything around here. I'm guessing that they don't. Otherwise, they're just gonna take it right away. It would be very silly to even try anything. And if you want to know, actually, the idea for Napoleon of this campaign was to link. That's why he came to Egypt, to link with his, between brackets, friends of Mysore in India, as they were fighting the British in the subcontinent. Now, how did Napoleon think that he was gonna go through all this, push through the Ottomans, and then, I don't know, if he was thinking that he was gonna be welcome to go through the lands in Persia, the Mughal Empire, the Marathas, and all the way down to Mysore to help them fight the British. Or, I don't know, he was thinking of sending some fleets all around the world to pick him up here in the Persian Gulf to take him down to, I don't know. He mentioned more than once that he was the descendant of Carlomagno. And he went to, Carlomagno fought in Persia and all that, but I don't know if he really believed in that or not. I guess only him really knew what the idea was. The thing is that by 1801 the French surrendered in Alexandria. Before that, though, so probably I think in 1800 he already left. He sailed from was fighting the Ottomans, and he sailed back to France, and he deposed the government and all that. But that's another story. And the army was left behind, and by 1801 the army surrendered, and I don't know if they didn't know what to do with them or what, but I read that they were actually repatriated to France. I guess France paid a ransom or something. But anyway, where do I go with all this? That in the end, Egypt was lost. The military campaign was a disaster. However, the scientific one was a success. As you know, they discovered the down here. Where is it? Well, at the pyramids, they discovered the Rosetta stone, and that set the basis for the what we call Egyptologies. How do you say in English? Well, whatever. To start the well, I don't even know the words. To start reading the hieroglyphics from the Egyptians. So that was a success, but the military campaign was a disaster. So what should we do? Because as victory conditions, actually, we don't have anything to do in Egypt or the Middle East, to tell the truth. So I think that actually what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to sign peace with the Ottomans, giving it to them, and bye-bye. I mean, it's not very rich. We're not gonna get any money from it. We are gonna have to spend a ton of money to even make a dent to try to hold it, and historically, in the end, in 1801, we lost it. So it would be like 12 turns in this mode, and that's it. So I think I'm gonna try to sign a peace treaty with the Ottomans, giving it to them, and see if we can get a technology or whatever. Welcome. I'm gonna keep Malta though, because it's gonna be a strategic position here in the Mediterranean. And actually, it gives me access to recruit this type of ships, the light galley, that is very cheap and the upkeep cost is very low. And from here I'm just gonna send them to everywhere to cover all my ports. That if you have seen any of my campaigns, I like to cover my ports so they don't get destroyed for once, and second, in Empire Total War, the enemies and yourself, if you can land your ships in the port, then your armies can move right away. So it's not like in Napoleon Total War. So that's a very big point, and a very important point, I would say. So I always try to cover my ports with ships. But yeah, that's the idea that I have for Egypt. And for the government, I already started, as you can see here. I raised the taxes for the lower classes, and I exempt tax to everybody else. So I'm pissing off the lower population, and I'm gonna take my armies out. I have to leave the region actually. We have 3 turns to do this, and we're gonna have a republic, because at this time France was a republic. So we're gonna have a republic, and later on, when we finish with the recruitment, with the researching, and we are able to recruit the emperor, then I don't know what I'm gonna do about now, because we don't have a dictatorship as a government type. So we'll have to choose. I think I will piss off the nobility, and that will change our republic to constitutional monarchy, that I think is gonna be the closest to what it was, because we don't have anything similar. I mean, we're not gonna go to a monarchy again. So I think we will be, and we won't be a republic anymore. We can either leave it as a republic and change the cabinet, or go to a constitutional monarchy. So you can tell me in the comments what you think. It's gonna take a while, so for now we're just gonna have the republic. I don't know if it's gonna change our flag though, so we might have changing the government, then we may lose the historically accurate flag. I don't know, but I think it's worth it to look at. And now I have to talk about the changes that I've done in the mod, because when I installed it, it didn't look like this at all. So I did mention at the beginning that I did have some crashes when I installed the mod and looking for some things. Well, I was trying to get some graphical mods to make it look more pleasant, because if you go to the link that I'm gonna give you for the thread of the mod in Total War Center, and you download it, you install it, it will look vanilla, and the characters. So you see
Votre Majesté.
You see this. I installed the Durangos, the latest version of Durangos. I think now is HD. The images, Durango's portraits, to look like this. Otherwise, it will be those cartoonish vanilla portraits in that, right? And the look also, it was very plain. So I tried with Terrestria Orbem, for example. I tried with the game will crash. I tried with the Ultima Ratio that I use in some of my other campaigns, and that it also crashed. And finally, I found graphics. This a mega pack. There's a different submods that I will leave in the video description of that, because I was trying different submods. One is the graphical overhaul. What it does is, you see, there is a little darker. It has more of a Napoleon Total War feeling to it, and the buildings as well. It ports some buildings like farms will look more like they do in Napoleon, right? And that was one mod that finally it worked, because the crashes that I was having, actually there was a mini dump file that said I was running out of memory in the map. And you can still see sometimes when I move from one side to another that the game freezes a little bit. And I don't have, this is not the most powerful computer, I think it's from 2016, I have it here installed. But I have 32 gigabytes of RAM. I don't know if it's related the map to the graphics card. I have a GTX 1050, so it only has 2 GB of VRAM. I don't know if it's because of that. The settings are all placed to high. And ultra, you can see here. I had to take out the HDR, so there is recommended to take it off anyway. But I don't know. I was having those crashes, and memory. I have memory, so I don't know. In the end, I found that with this pack, it works. It doesn't crash anymore. And I have the battles that I mentioned before: the land battle, the naval battle, and the battles. The units are huge. So we had like the general's bodyguard is 300 horsemen. They are crappy. They're pretty crap, the generals. But the other units were, you know, all shooting and all that. 400 grenadiers and all that, and it worked perfectly, no problem, no crashes at all. So I finally found this, but it took me a while and a lot of crash to desktop while trying to find the perfect place. Now that mod, Jura, I don't remember the name of the creator, but it will be in the video description. He has several mini mods, and for example, we have the naval fleets, the unit cards that are ported from Napoleon Total War. I think they look pretty cool, and for this era that we're gonna be playing here, it just goes perfect with it. It also adds the maps. So the when you go to these maps, like here, right, and the maps in these areas in here is not like the vanilla. So actually, you can actually, if you don't like something of it, you can just download the mini mod for the graphical overhaul. You see the graphical for the buildings and all that, and don't load the ships if you don't like it, or if you don't like the maps or something like that. You can just pick some of them. There's some loading screens that they are not working because I still have some Ultima Radio installed, parts of it. But I think also for the events, when I pass the turn and we're still having the strikes and all that, we will see it, and things like that. But in the end, when I saw that everything was working, I just took out the mini mods, and I used a package that has the complete with everything on it. So you only need to have one pack in your data folder instead of the different submods. But you can choose the difference. Also, you need to select them with your with the mod manager, and that's it. So I also have one actually for the trade. You can see here that the icon, instead of the tasks, these are slaves. However, there's a text file that I had to take out because there's two files. One, this is from Nexus mod. I will leave the link as well. So one file is the icon, that instead of the task you have the slaves, and you can choose between this image and I think there are 3 or 4 that you can choose. But also there's a text file that changes, that when you hover over it, instead of saying ivory, it says slaves. But if I use that text file, then what it does is that I cannot see the files for the like this Fusiliers 800. This would be empty, and I don't know, we are gonna be using this much more, even though the cards are not specific for the mod, only the names. But I think this will be more useful than just I don't know how many times we are gonna see this. So we already see they are slaves, and that's it. So I took out that text file to make that work, but otherwise that's it. I didn't use any other different stuff, so I hope if you want to try it yourself, the list of all the mods and links will be in the video description, and you can give it a try. And now, finally, after like 40 minutes talking, I always do this, I talk a lot. I'm sorry, but for the first episode, I think I had to introduce the mod. I think it's deserved, right? It's very peculiar, and the units are beautiful, and let you know, because I haven't seen any campaigns on YouTube with this mod. Hopefully you like it and you want to try it yourself. It's a pity that there are so many mods that get forgotten, and everybody talks about the Empire 2 Total War, and I also played Pirates Uberales that I think they are awesome, but there are these hidden gems that have been forgotten, and they deserve some spotlight, and I'm gonna give it the little spotlight that I can with my small channel. But anyway, so going into the gameplay, finally, I mentioned that for Egypt, I'm gonna try to give it away. What I've done, I've been recruiting units all around. The first video that I did, probably if you haven't watched it, you can check it. It's like a 10 minutes video. It was just the Battle of Liguria. That actually is one of the main objectives that we have, Liguria. So we already captured it. I'm moving forward. I have named Napoleon in there, as I mentioned before, and we are replenishing. I think I'm recruiting something here because we don't have cannons. Yeah, I'm recruiting the cannons in there. We took that first battle. They didn't have cannons either, so it wasn't that much of a disadvantage. But we are at war with the Papal States, or Italian states are called here. We are at war with Naples and Sicily, and I'm gonna try. Well, we're friends with these guys, right? Yeah, with Sardinia. Do we need Sardinia? No, right? We need Corsica. Yeah, we need Corsica, that we already have it, so that's fine. So with this army, I'm gonna try to push forward and attack the Italian states, take Rome, and take Naples. See if we can get a hold on this Italian boot. It's gonna be complicated because Austria is already in Venice, and if they start sending armies this way, it's gonna be a little hard. We're gonna have to move fast and try to take them out as soon as possible, so they cannot recruit units, and maybe split our army in half, and maybe take control of Rome and hold Sicily and Naples, and Sicily if they come forward, and also see if we can take Venice and hold in there. Now with on the other side, what I'm gonna do, this army, instead of what I was talking right at the beginning, of sending them to Egypt and try to recruit more units and make ourselves strong in there, what I'm gonna do is use this army to move towards Württemberg. Immediatement. And actually, I was recruiting in France, in Paris, some mortars and horse artillery and howitzers. So what I'm gonna do is not recruit them in here, and I'm gonna recruit them in here instead. So we have the mortar. It was at, I think it was 24 pounder, right? Well, the horse artillery and where are the howitzers? And the howitzers. Yeah, at least three units. We have one in here. We have a 12 pounder howitzer, so I might go, instead of the howitzer, go for more 12 pounders. For foot artillery. No, that's where is the foot artillery? 12 pounder foot artillery. So this is 800 meters, 700 meters. We have 750 with the mortar. The horse artillery, oh, it also has 400 meters range. accuracy 40, accuracy 40. So yeah, that's why I was recruiting the horse artillery. They have the same range that the foot artillery, but actually they are mobile, as you know, and they cost the same. One thing that I love about this mod is that the recruitment and upkeep is very low, so we're gonna be able to recruit a huge number of units, and with the sizes that they have, it's gonna be epic battles. I hope you're looking forward to that, like I am. So I'm not gonna recruit the foot artillery. I'm gonna recruit another howitzer then. Where are you? Damn it! There it is. Okay. And they will join with this. And this army, I will move them out. We have 3 turns for that. If we have a rebellion in 3 turns and this army is in the region, they will become part of the rebellion and they will fight us. So we have to send them out. And when the rebellion pops in, we have to side with the rebels to make it a republic. I don't know about the ships, but I have to make sure to don't have any ships in the port as well, just in case. But anyway, so another thing that I saw, diplomacy, I already signed up an alliance with United States that we didn't have when you start. You don't have it. I did sign it with them, and I was thinking what to do with Sweden, because Sweden, they are enemies of Russia. Actually, are they at war right now? They are not at war with Russia yet. Pardon me. What about us? We are at war with Russia, right? Yes. So eventually, I believe they will get at war anyway. The only thing is that you see that Russia here doesn't have any units except this, and they do have an army, so they might take St. Petersburg right off the bat. The Swedish. I'm hoping that they don't go towards Moscow, because if they do, then we will have to declare war on them. But that would be very long down the road, so we might as well try to sign an alliance with them. However, with Württemberg, we're at war with Württemberg, we're at war with Bavaria, we're allied with Colonia, we're at peace with Hanover, even though they don't like us very much, we're at peace with Saxony, and we're still at peace with the Prussians. I'm trading with them because they were willing, so what the heck, I take all the money that I can until later on we fight them. So since we're sending one army on the south, this other army is gonna come from the north towards Vienna. So diplomacy wise, I have already signed off camera when I was doing the test run and getting this set up. I did sign an alliance with United States that you don't have when you start the game. Now I've seen here actually that checking at the enemies that we have with Württemberg, that I'm sending this army towards them right now. They're actually friendly, so they came to war with us because I guess they are protectorate of Austria. Austria declared war when the start post was getting done, and they went along starting the war as well. So since we have good relationship, I'm gonna see if we can actually get them to be our protectorate, leave Austria and become our protectorate. I did that when I was doing the test run. Actually, I tried it and it worked. I don't know if it's gonna work now. I'm gonna give you a let me give you, damn it, peace treaty, become protector, spinning. I'm gonna give you all, what the heck. If you, let's see if you accept this, because it would take out one enemy right away and have a good relationship and go through. With a protectorate we can go through their lands. So let's see what they say. Yes, a peace treaty has been signed and they are our protectorate. So we can trade. Let's trade with them right away. Well, yeah, why not? Alright, awesome. However, we are indifferent. We were happy, we were friendly, not happy, we were friendly, right? And now instead we are indifferent, even though it's plus 42. So historical grievances, peace treaty, same religion, everything is positive, but because we were at war. Well, anyway, so now we can go through the lands. Yeah, we can go through the lands, no problem. It's our protectorate. We're gonna link this army with the fusiliers that we have in here, and what we are recruiting, all the cannons. A ton of cannons we're gonna have, actually. Can I recruit? I can recruit more infantry as well. Well, I will look into this.
Oui, milord.
We will look into this off camera. So the idea is to go through and attack Bavaria right away. Not in this episode, we're gonna run out of time. But so we took one enemy out by sheer diplomacy. Very nice. So what I've been doing as well in the Americas is moving these guys around. I think I'm recruiting. Yeah, I'm recruiting cannons that I don't have and some cavalry. And we have to decide, but it's gonna take a little time actually, because they are far away. We need to take the Cherokee territory, that I'm hoping that the US doesn't go faster than us, because that will create a conflict of interest. We have an army
À vos ordres.
right here, but it can't reach in 1 ton, so there's no way to attack. I could send them forward towards the Iroquois, but we are at peace right now. And I'm not sure that I want to get into I can't see any units. I mean, they only have a garrison, but I'm pretty sure
Que voulez-vous?
that they will have some units around. Because otherwise, in 2 turns,
Oui, monsieur.
I could arrive in 2 turns. I don't know how strong is going to be the garrison, but we could just take it right away. The British, I don't see any units in New France, so I don't know if we should go and try to blitzkrieg, right? Take them by surprise right away. But we don't have very much, and the problem is that in the Americas we cannot recruit. I can only recruit one. Oh, can I recruit? No, 1 unit at a time in here. So that's why I'm upgrading this governor's residence. It still only give us 1 at a time, though. Oh, but after that, I can go for the military, and it still only says 1. Yeah, we have to go all the way. Yeah, that give us 1. This would give us 3. I don't know if it can reach that without the technologies. But here we have to go all the way to the military governor to be able to recruit 2 units. So it's gonna be so painfully slow to get any reinforcements. In Lower Louisiana, though, I can recruit. Actually, I can recruit more. Yeah, I'm recruiting already some units to get this army a little more. No, we will need to recruit a general as well. We have a general up there. So the thing is what to do. Maybe push for the Cherokee first, because these guys is all we have.
Votre Majesté.
And with 5 units and no cavalry and only 1 cannon, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hold. And if the Iroquois have any units around here that I can't see, they're gonna just wipe me out. So the Americas is gonna take some time. We need to. One of our victory conditions is Leeward Islands. Oh, I thought it would be British, but actually it's the pirates. The pirates are trading with themselves here. Ah. So these are the pirates. Alright. We're gonna have some naval battles down there. They are the pirates. Have a flute. And I'm not recruiting anything. I don't have the money to keep my port protected. So the British are only in here. What I've done with my navy actually is I destroy this port just briefly and sail all the way to Newfoundland and destroy this port as well. They don't have any units, so I'm keeping my navy is only 3 ships. This is a 6th rate. And try to break their ports so they don't recruit. But anyway, that's gonna take some time. So I'm gonna leave it here, guys, for this first episode. We are allied with Spain. And the next episode, I don't know if I might do something off camera, just to get a little bit forward. Just notice that the British, since I won the battle of the French Channel that I called, I destroyed the ports a little bit, but just enough so they cannot recruit any more ships. And I'm moving to destroy this naval hospital that they have in Ireland. They still have one port in Glasgow here that I'm hoping that I'm gonna arrive in time before they recruit anything. And then what I just have to do is keep breaking their ports. So wherever they have, doesn't matter how big their army is, if they cannot send it anywhere, we are free from their wrath. So I have to keep doing that, and we take one enemy out of the way. Now by the time we want to take England, that is a victory condition, it's gonna be very hard because they're gonna have a huge army in there. But hopefully if I can keep them in their islands, it would be at the end, and we will be big enough to just go and have some epic battles in England and finish it in there. But anyway, that would be for later. So I don't know, I might just go forward and do off camera, get the rebellion, or just pop in when the rebellion comes to get that, and see if I can set up some battles, so the next episodes are not just me talking here. We're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. But anyway, I just wanted to, more than anything, most important, to present the mod to you. If you haven't heard of this, is I actually came to know this mod because I'm playing the Gran Colombia campaign that if you haven't watched it, I recommend, with the All Factions mod. And the creators of the Gran Colombia unit pack that I'm using, that I'm only recruiting units from that pack, that they look beautiful, they mentioned that they have been you could say influenced by the beautiful units that I have seen in this mod, the 1800 mod. So I took note of that. They also have a pack for the Mexican, that I will do a campaign with the Mexican unit pack. But I took note of that and I said, well, I have to check that 1800 mod then. And I came into this, and that's why I got into the mod and I decided to play it. But anyway, I hope you like it. If you do, please give me a thumbs up. Try it yourself, check all the links with all the mods that I put together for this campaign. And yeah, we'll have battles, don't worry about that we're gonna have a ton of battles, the Napoleonic Wars in Empire Total War. But anyway, thank you very much for your time. Please take care, be safe, and I hope to see you soon with this and the many other campaigns that I have going on in the channel. Give it a look. Shogun Total War, the Carlist Wars, with the Napoleonic Total War eras as well, the Carlist Wars actually. The Gran Colombia, I'm gonna start the Mexican unit pack as well, the Mexican campaign. But anyway, thank you very much once again, and see you in the next one. Bye bye for now. Au revoir, mon ami. Au revoir.